Now what I'm doing today is I'm fishing with a Crappie spinning rod. That's the name of it, made by Buck's Jig Pole. It's 6'3" long, light action rod, and I'm using white braid, and the name of it is Frost, made by Berkeley. It's 8-pound test, and that's a double uni knot is what my connection is, and I have 2 jigs on here. Now my top jig is tied with a sabiki knot with a leader around 7 inches long, and the top jig is a 1/64 of an ounce jig head with a blue ice Bobby Garland. On the bottom is a 1/32 ounce jig head with a Bobby Garland blue ice, which is my favorite color, especially in clear water. I'm using 4-pound test floor coated line made by Seaguar. This is a great way to fish deep, whether you vertical jig or cast. What I'm doing is I'm fishing 37 feet of water, and I'm about at, I'm going to say 34 or 35 feet deep right now. I'm seeing shad on the depth finder, and some of them are high in the water column. Higher up in the water column, they're about 17 feet deep, and I know that they're gizzard shad because I've went through them and caught a couple gizzard shad just by, I just snagged them. And they are some shad on the bottom too, and that's probably the smaller shads on the bottom. Whoa. There's a fish. That could be another white bass, and it could be a crappie. Or it could be a bass fish. I don't know. He's pulling. That's a lot of fun with that limber rod, folks. But that fish is real deep. Let's see what we got. If he'll quit, we'll see what it quit. My goodness. That's a pretty good sized largemouth, and that fish was deep. Real deep. Listen at him. That's 4-pound test line. I don't want to be lifting any fish with that. Not really. There he is. Now I believe they should be some sow crappie down there. I'm going to keep working with this a little bit and see. Because there's definitely smaller shad that's on the bottom. Pretty good largemouth bass. Right there. Clean looking fish, ain't he? Let's let him go. Now he thumped that jig. It was just thumped, no doubt about it. Whoa. Now what I'm doing right here, it's no different than vertical jigging with one jig. And the reason I have that lighter jig on the top is because the action to be a lot more realistic. Say if I had 2 1/32 ounce jig heads on there, there's a quite a bit of difference in the way they look to the fish when you present one heavier on the bottom. Not only will you be able to cast without them twisting up, you'll be, ooh, I just got a tap there. I'm sorry, folks. But I always put the heaviest jig on the bottom. Because if you're casting, it'll keep those jigs separated much better. Much better. And keep them from tangling up with each other is what I'm trying to say. Y'all excuse me. I'm focusing right now. I see quite a few fish under the boat right here. There we go. Boy, when I got it down there to that depth, that fish hammered it. Whatever he is. Look here. We got us another big white bass. And he did spit up a shad about that long, so I was right there. Big white bass too. Come on in here. Them's Jim Dandies when you talk about here on the Tennessee River. Them's Jim Dandies. I tell you, folks, I get so excited when I'm fishing. It's terrible. It is terrible. I get so tore up. That's a good one, is it not? Let's let him go. Woo-wee. Get on back in there. Got a little bite right there. There we go. We nailed that one. Oh, me. What in the world have we got right here? What I've done right here, folks, is I've went on down from where I was fishing, and the water's a little bit shallower here on this part of the bluff. I'm looking and focusing for some big crappie. And a lot of times that's the key in low water situations. A lot of times I'll start off deep and then go to the shallower side of the bluff and then work back as the water gets deeper. Somewhere in between, usually there's a big school of crappie, but I believe what we got right here is just a big drum. So I'm going to have to really take it easy with him. I've got this 4-pound test fluoro-coated line on here. And that's another thing I want to point out when you're fishing with a double jig rig like this. It's when you have 2 jigs on it, it attracts fish. Yeah, it's just a big drum right here. You'll get more bites and quicker because of it usually. That's just the fact of the matter. And another thing I wanted to show was how strong a sabiki knot is. It's a real strong knot. It eliminates you having to use a swivel and tie a short leader to the swivel, which is something that I've done a lot. But it causes a lot of twist, a lot of line twist, believe it or not, even having that swivel. And it'll cause your jigs to twist up. Let's see if we can net this fish. There we go. Boy, that's a big drum to catch on tiny tackle like this, but now that's the sport of fishing. They're strong. That's a good drum right there on that light line. Let's let him go. And my knots are not weakened because I took my time with him and allowed the drag and the rod to do the work. Now if I'd have horsed him, I'd have popped him off and weakened my knots. So that's another thing about playing a fish in real slow. Take your time, have your fun with him. He cut me right there a little bit. Whoa, it don't matter. The sport of fishing is second to none. Whoa! I can't fish with that old man no more. He'll sit there and he'll just stare at you while you're fishing, and if you hook one, he wants to know, you got a good one, it's a big one, it's a good one, how big is it, all that kind of stuff. Can't enjoy fighting him or nothing because he's so nosy, he's scared I'm going to catch one. I ain't fishing with Bursel no more. I ain't done it, no more Bursel for me. You can fish with him if you want to. I want y'all to look right here. My, my, my. Every one of these white bass are just huge. Huge. Come on in here. Oh, that's a little bit too much for 4-pound line. Yep, he broke my line. But anyhow, let's get her jig back. Come here. My goodness. Folks, this is a lot of fun right here. This is fishing right here. Teasing fish to bite. Big white bass. My goodness, let's let him go. There he goes. There's a good one right here, folks. I'm going to say it's flathead. Reason why is I caught him right on the edge of this drop right here, right on the edge. But I was wrong. Just a big drum. Big drum. Come on in here. I got him caught right here. Let's see if we can get that loose. Yeah. Got it loose, all right, right in the net. Come in here. Pretty good drum. Let's let him go. Alrighty, folks. I tell you, it was fun today. I've done a lot of stuttering today, and I apologize for that. But I'm not used to this cold weather. We've had some cold weather, and today was windy and cold for the most part. And it makes me stutter. But I want to thank y'all very much for all the great comments. God bless each and every one of y'all. Hey, woo. And remember, don't fish it when you can. Buck all is good food.